The conference room was already full when I walked in. Glass walls. Polished table. People who measured worth in silence and suits. I took the last empty chair. Near the end. Where no one important ever sits. No one looked at me twice. Good. That made things easier. At the head of the table. She stood. The CEO. Sharp. Controlled. The kind of presence that didn't ask for attention. It took it. Let's not waste time, she said. Her voice cut clean through the room. We've reviewed the numbers. We've reviewed the performance. A pause. Then. Her eyes landed on me. And some of you, she continued, are still here purely out of habit. A few heads lowered. Some shifted uncomfortably. She stepped forward slightly. Mr. Arman, she said. My name. Clear. Intentional. Every head turned. I looked up calmly. Yes. She didn't smile. Didn't soften. You've been with this company for, what, 5 years, she said. 6, I replied. A flicker of something. Annoyance, maybe. 6 years, she corrected. Yet your department remains, average. A quiet ripple in the room. Tell me, she continued. What exactly do you contribute that justifies your position? There it was. Not feedback. Not evaluation. Humiliation. Public. Precise. I could feel it. The shift in the room. People leaning in. Waiting. Some sympathetic. Most relieved it wasn't them. I didn't answer immediately. Not because I didn't have one. But because timing matters. She took my silence as weakness. Of course she did. That's what I thought, she said. A few quiet chuckles. I nodded slowly. Then reached into my bag. Pulled out a folder. Set it on the table. You're right, I said. That caught her off guard. Just slightly. My department is average, I continued. Now the room was listening differently. Because it was designed to be. A pause. Her eyes narrowed. Explain, she said. I slid the folder across the table. Toward her. I'd rather show you. She didn't move at first. Then picked it up. Opened it. At first. Nothing. Routine. Then. Her expression changed. Just a fraction. Then more. She flipped another page. Then another. The room felt it. Because power recognizes power. Even before it's spoken. What is this? She asked quietly. I leaned back slightly. Calm. Acquisition documents, I said. Silence. Immediate. The CFO leaned forward. Acquisition of what? He asked. I looked directly at her. Your company, I said. The air left the room. Because suddenly. The man she tried to break. Was the one holding everything together. Her grip tightened slightly on the folder. That's not possible, someone said. I didn't respond to them. Only to her. It is, I said. And for the first time since I walked in. The CEO wasn't in control of the room anymore. No one spoke. Not because they didn't want to. But because no one knew how. The CEO kept her eyes on the document. Reading. Rereading. This is a controlling stake, she said slowly. Through a holding group. The CFO leaned in closer. Face pale now. That's been accumulating shares for months, he added. I nodded once. Quietly, I said. A ripple moved through the room. Executives exchanging looks. trying to trace something they'd missed. "You're telling me," the CEO said, finally looking up, "that you've been sitting in this room as an employee while buying the company?" I met her gaze. Calm. Yes. Silence hit again. But this time, it wasn't confusion. It was impact. "Why?" someone whispered. That question lingered. Hung there. I didn't rush to answer. Because the truth wasn't simple. Because I needed to understand what I was buying, I said. I looked around the room. At the people. At the system. Not the numbers, I added. Those are easy. A pause. I needed to see the culture. Now the words landed. Heavy. "And what did you see?" the CEO asked. Her voice had changed. Still strong. But no longer untouchable. I didn't look away. "I saw people afraid to speak," I said. "I saw talent being measured by visibility, not value. I saw leadership confuse pressure with performance." No one interrupted. No one disagreed. Because they couldn't. And today? I continued. Today confirmed everything. Her jaw tightened slightly. "Because I called you out," she said. "Because you chose to do it publicly," I replied. A pause. "That wasn't leadership," I added. "That was control." The room shifted. Again. And for the first time. Some of them weren't looking at me. They were looking at her. Waiting. The CEO closed the folder slowly. Placed it on the table. Then stood straight. "You could have done this differently," she said. "I did," I replied. Silence. "For 6 years," I continued. That hit. Because now. It wasn't about the acquisition. It was about everything before it. "You stayed," she said. "I built," I corrected. Another pause. "Then why reveal it like this?" she asked. I leaned forward slightly. "Because this," I said, gesturing to the room, "is how decisions are made here." A beat. "So now," I added, "we do it the same way." No one moved. Because the balance had shifted. Completely. The CEO looked at me. Longer this time. Not as an employee. Not as a problem. But as something else entirely. Equal. Then. Finally. She spoke. "What happens next?" she asked. And that question wasn't resistance. It was acceptance. I didn't smile. Didn't gloat. I just answered. "We fix what's broken," I said. The room held its breath. Because whatever came next was no longer about her power. Or mine. It was about what we chose to do with it. No one reached for their laptops. No one checked their phones. Because for the first time, this meeting actually mattered. She didn't sit down. Neither did I. Two people standing. On opposite sides of the same table. With everyone else caught in between. "You said we fix what's broken," she said. Her voice steady again. Controlled. "Start talking." I nodded once. Not as permission. But as alignment. "First," I said. "This stops." A small gesture toward the room. But everyone knew what I meant. Public humiliation. Fear-driven performance. Silence disguised as respect. A few people shifted in their seats. Not comfortable. "Accountability doesn't need an audience," I added. Her eyes stayed on me. "And if it did?" she asked. "Then it's not accountability," I said. "It's theater." That landed. Hard.